The Russian Ministry of Defense recently published a report by the Deputy Chief of the General Staff. It claims that a total of 300,000 people were mobilized in Russia. Despite large-scale propaganda, only 17,000 Russians volunteered to fight against Ukraine. Most often, these are employees of enterprises. After all, the promised allowance is usually much more than the salary at the plant.
People are seduced by money. People are lured by various promises. By the way, patriotism is generally in last place, where with this recruitment for a contract. That is not the fight against the so-called fascism, not the fight against the so-called denazification. There is no power in rhetoric now. These are large sums, plus the defense of the motherland. This thesis also sounds protection of the motherland, which no one attacked, but it does not make sense. It continues, but the temptation is mainly money when recruiting for a contract. If it fails, breaks down, then there will be a second wave of mobilization. Sergei Krivenko, Russian human rights activist, in an interview with Crimea Realities.
However, to promise does not mean to do, and a vivid example of this is the story of the Russian military Yuri Svedovoi. His photo with the caption "Glory to the Heroes of Russia" hangs all over the country. Only according to the documents, the deceased did not receive the title of hero. The family also did not see payments. Moreover, relatives were not even able to transport his body from the occupied part of Donbass. There are hundreds of similar stories in Russia. Everyone remembers how a pack of dumplings was given to a Tula resident for her dead son. The other day, Estonian intelligence warned that the second wave of mobilization in Russia is already close. More than 20,000 Russians are sent to the front every month on mobilization agendas, according to the main intelligence Directorate of Ukraine. The Russian army is forced to urgently replenish manpower reserves. After all, according to US intelligence data, Russia has lost at least 100,000 people in Ukraine since December.
There are many cases when people with various diseases are called up. That is, the doctors themselves often say that they are simply forbidden to put limited feet. A man with a benign tumor approached us, and when he was given a referral for an operation in the hospital, the surgeon refused to operate on him, saying that he was of military age, and if he operated on him, then he, the surgeon, could be called for help in invading military service. Grigory Sverdlin, founder of the project Go by the Forest, in an interview with Crimea Realities.
The Russian Supreme Commander has never been on the front lines, therefore it is not surprising that Putin has lost authority in the Russian army. After all, he knows absolutely nothing about the real state of affairs at the front, analysts say.
Of course, the leadership in the military issue was seized by Prigozhin in the public space, and yesterday there was a publication somewhere in Russia that the search by the name of Prigozhin is twice as popular as by the name of Putin. That is, Prigozhin has already become most popular, maybe not the most authoritative.
Unprofessionalism and lawlessness of the Russian military leadership, countless violations in the payment of allowances to the Russian military, large-scale losses in the ranks of the Russian army and the lies of the Kremlin propagandists. All this clearly does not contribute to the desire of Russians to give their lives for Putin's ambitions. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.